Beep beep, everybody. Here we are outside Burning Bridge Antiques Market in Columbia, Pennsylvania, on the corner of North 3rd Street and Walnut Street. And we're going to tour this place to look for baseball cards. This is named after an event that happened during the American Civil War, in which the Union Army burned down a bridge across the Susquehanna River to keep the Confederates from reaching Lancaster, PA. So one of the first things I saw there was some junk wax. We have some Donruss packs for $1.35, and there's a 1989 complete factory sealed set and some 1989 jumbo packs. And not far from there, I found all these old cards. That 1960 Leaf Johnny Callison caught my eye, but the price was a little too high for me. I sort of regret not getting it because you don't see very many of those out there in the wild. You'll see they have a bunch of different things here, and there's some cards in this wooden tray, of which I found one that I purchased. And you see they have a lot of non-sports cards in there. Right around that case, there's this display here of some vintage stuff, including some stuff from the 80s. You can see the big rookie cards from the mid-80s there. And there's some 1975 cards, Jackson and Brock, and some 72 in action cards. And there's some cards from 1967 and 68 and 1971. Lots of neat stuff to look at in here. The prices were mostly fair, sometimes good, and sometimes maybe just a little high, but overall, I did find some stuff in this interesting case, which I'll show you just briefly after this, that it actually moves. And here's an example of it moving. I don't remember what kind of a device this was called, but this was pretty cool. And I'll rotate through the entire thing here so that you can see everything that I saw in it. And there's even postage stamps and coins and stamps of baseball players, football cards, and a couple spots that are empty, meaning I guess some people found some stuff there too. And a case right next to this had some boxes from the 80s. There's a 67 Willie Mays, and there's a football helmet. Joe Horland, I'm not sure what that is. That's probably from the early 60s. And there's some packs and some more various cards and cans and glasses and bottles of soda and magazines. Find some old magazines. There's some Wheaties boxes that are folded up. An old sport magazine. There's a sporting news magazine with Mantle and Maris on it. And I should have probably filmed that a little bit slower so you could see it some more. There's some Coca-Cola cards of the Reds. Some Ralston Purina cards. I'm not sure. There's some Star Trek cards down there. All kinds of really neat stuff here to look at. Now, this dealer also had a booth that was upstairs. This place has 3 floors, and there are some RC Cola cans with Robin Yount and Gaylord Perry on it. A Brooks Robinson All-Star card there. There's some macaroni and cheese boxes with cards on the back. I had to double take there. 59 Brooks Robinson, a 61 Stam Usual, 1987 Topps Rack Pack. There's an 82 Topps unopened pack there. Some complete sets from the 80s with what I think are pretty fair prices. A box of stickers. There's some more football cards there in a 3-ring binder. And here's some more complete sets from the 1980s with what I think are basically fair prices for them. Right next to that case upstairs, there's this manually spinning thing, and there's some mostly late 70s cards that you see: a 76 Mike Schmidt, some 80 cards. There's some 78 and 77 and 1976 Gaylord Perry. Couple football players in here. And just outside this booth is another case, which has some more stuff in it. You see that Roger Maris All-Star card. There's an 82 unopened pack for $20. And there's a 1950 Phillies yearbook that's priced at $75 there. Some traded sets, some rack packs. Here's some more of these RC Cola cans. You can see the old tabs dating those back to the 70s, I believe. There's a 71 Nolan Ryan there for $85. Robin Yount rookie for $60. And some glasses and all kinds of assorted sports-related stuff in this case. And not far from that vendor, there's another one that kind of mostly focuses on the junk wax stuff. There's a Score and an 89 Topps. There's a Cornflakes box back there with Roberto Clemente. And there's all these 1969 League Leaders cards from the top set of that year, which was interesting to look at. And there's some more junk wax, Cornflakes and Wheaties boxes, some complete sets. That Score set's a factory sealed set. And this was a really great place. I'm going to show you what I bought here after we're done with the tour, but before that, I'm going to showcase the dog. We took the dog to a park that's just along the Susquehanna River, and that's a pretty cool architecturally neat looking bridge there. I'm not sure if it's modeled on the bridge that was burnt down in 1863, but that bridge crossed this river back then, and that's what this antique market is named after. So Riker's having a good time at the park. And I'll show you what I got right after this. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tour of Burning Bridge Antiques Market, and I hope you're all having a great day. So we're going to go over the things I found there, but before we start there, I'm going to go over a couple things that I bought at a place on the way back. I did not film it because they do not have any baseball cards there, and the place is called A Stitch in Time Antique and Gift Mall, and that's in Millerstown, Pennsylvania, which is just off of Route 322 in central Pennsylvania. And I found myself a Kellogg's Corn Pops truck, covering the S in pop, so for Corn Pops, and a Kellogg's Apple Jacks truck, and these were $5 each. That's probably about what they're worth. And I found a friend for Logan the Ladybug, and in my video where I named him Logan, based on I believe it was a hanger box of 2022 Donruss, I accidentally overlooked Luis Robert, and I should have named the Ladybug Luis, but I saw Logan Gilbert, I believe it was. Yeah. And so I named him Logan, and I didn't want to, change his name and hurt his feelings. But I also didn't want to hurt Luis Roberts' feelings for having him get missed. So I found another Ladybug at this Stitch in Time in Millerstown. And so, Logan, meet Luis. Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. All right, enough of that. Let's go into what I got there, and we're going to start off with this, if you can see it, the reflection off the plastic covering. This is a 1976 Phillies yearbook, and it looks pretty cool. I'll pull it out and just briefly page through it. This was $12 and it was 20% off, and the going rate for a lot of these 70s yearbooks is about like $10 or so. So I'll move Nathan over there, and we'll just quickly go through it. I'm not going to go through each page, but give you an idea of the condition of it. Now, they also had one from 1979 and one from 78, but the condition wasn't as good as these. They had some markings on the back cover, so I decided to pass on those. And I also got this 1977 yearbook. It's hard to believe back in those days these only cost $2 each. So I thought I was happy with that. Ad for Tasty Cake on the back. And the other one, if you can remember it, had an ad for Geno's on the back, and I guess this was doubled up with KFC. Some of the Geno's fast food places in Philadelphia did double up with KFC, although I do remember a number of them that were all by themselves. I don't know if any of you that lived in that area in the 70s remember the rectangular hamburgers they made with Thousand Island sauce, which was quite a bit different than what you could get at McDonald's and Burger King back then. So let's go over the cards I bought. And the first one is 1968 Rocky Colavito. Got that for $2. And the condition of all of these was pretty good. Now this one has a little corner ding up here, and maybe a little bit one down there, but the surface looks pretty nice. And the back of that looks like this. So not too bad for a $2 card. We got a 1976 Mike Schmidt for $10. A bit off center. This corner could use some care, but the other corners look pretty sharp on it. And again, the surface looks pretty good for this. And this is what the back looks like. And sorry that I didn't take the tags off or move these over to new top loaders, but I will at some point down the road. This is a Dale Murphy rookie card. That's something I was missing in my collection, and I got this for $15. I think they normally go for about $25, $30. Sometimes you could find them on eBay, I guess, going up to $50 and $60. The corners are, they're not too bad. They're not too bad. They're not perfectly sharp, but they look pretty good. The surface looks really great on it, and there's like a little bump here, which you can sometimes find in these old 70s cards. And that's what the back looks like. The back's also a bit off center as well. But I thought that was a good buy. 1971 Rod Carew for $25. Corners look pretty sharp on this one. And again, the surface looks pretty good. And it's hard to find 71 cards that look this good. And I thought that was a good deal for this. Back of the card looks like this. Again, I apologize for this, but they have to label them somehow so that when you take them up to the register, they know what it is that you're buying and can put that on your receipt. This is a 1960 Al Kaline, and I thought this was in pretty good shape for 1960. Again, it's off center, left to right more so than up and down. And I got that for $30. And this is what the back of that looks like. A 1968 Roger Maris for $40. And again, I think this is in pretty good shape for how old this is. The centering, again, it's hard to find these cards really well centered from back then. But so what I'm mostly looking for is not too bad centering. The surface has to look good, and the corners have to look as sharp as you can find them. That's mostly what I'm looking for. And there's the back, and you can see the back looks pretty good. It's also centered pretty well on the back. And the last card I bought was this 1965 Frank Robinson for $45, and I thought this was remarkably wonderful condition for the age of this. The centering's not too bad. There are some printing orbs, like right here. There's like some kind of a little dot with a circle in it, and there's a printing orb on Frank's nose. And the back looks like this. And you can see just the tiniest bit of white on the two top corners. I don't know if you can see that close with the camera. But this is a pretty sharp card, and I thought $45 was a good deal for it. Burning Bridge Antiques Market is in Columbia, and we did visit a couple other places there, but they didn't have baseball cards. But for the sake of completeness, there's a place across the street from it called Fragments of the Past, and it's a pretty small place, and it's got a lot. It's kind of eclectic, I'd say, and a little on the weird side. So it was an interesting place to visit. So if you're in the area, give them a visit. They did have some non-sports cards up by the register, and I do remember seeing some Batman cards. I don't know what time period those date from because I don't collect non-sports cards. There were some Stargate SG-1 cards and packs of the Black Hole movie that Disney made back in the late 70s, and I know those were going for $4 a pack. There were some Star Wars figurines there, plus some like McDonald's collectibles too. It was a real eclectic range of stuff. In the back they had like some old medical equipment, skeletons. It's kind of strange stuff back there. We also visited a place called Tollbooth Antique Marketplace, which is like about a block or two away from Burning Bridge, and that is basically a converted factory into a large antique mall, and it is rather large. The only problem is make sure you bundle up because it is cold there in the wintertime. All they have are these space heaters. The place doesn't seem to have its own HVAC system, and from what I understand, in the summertime it's really hot in there. Now I didn't find any baseball cards in there, but there was a lot of stuff in there, a lot of old toys and things. So if you're interested in old toys and stuff like that, you might have some luck there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Give these places a visit if you get a chance, and I'll try to remember to put links to their websites if they have them, and if they don't, if I can find like social media site that they take care of, I'll put links in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Beep beep, everybody.